Hi, I'm Freddie Carr. I'm the pitman on board Gladiator TP52. And my background, I guess, is fundamentally in America's Cups, but always alongside that, I've raced on 52s, Mini Maxis, Etchells, Extreme 40s, whatever I kind of think is the best, most fun, exciting racing circuit that's going on at the moment.
My name's Joey Newton. I'm a trimmer on board Gladiator in the TP52 Super Series. My background mostly in the America's Cup before I started doing Super Series in Maxi. So I did 7 America's Cups starting in 2000 through to 2021.
We're here in Sardinia at Yacht Club Costa Esmeralda, and it's our last event, our 5th event of the 2025 Super Series. We've kind of had an up and down season so far. We won the first event in Saint-Tropez, and for reasons we didn't compete in Bayona, and have had a tricky last 2 events. So we're looking for a bit of a bounce back here in Sardinia and finish the season strong.
The 52 circuit's sort of the premier racing circuit for monohull yachts in the world, really. So it's the highest level racing that you can get. We race across all sorts of conditions. The boats are pretty well suited to very light air, but also very windy conditions that we saw in Cascais this year. You know, the boats are out racing in 28 knots and massive waves. So, you know, it's the place that you want to go to if you want to get some good racing.
Yeah, and to second that, like, you basically see the best sailors in the world. If you kind of excluded the foiling that's going on at the moment, these are the guys that are the best in the world at making boats go fast. And so Joey in his trim loop and in his sail design world has got to be bang on the money. And then me in the pit with the bow team and those guys, you have to be close to perfect every day with your boat handling. If you have a small slip up at any moment, you can lose 1 or 2 places in that race, and that could mean you sliding down the overall leaderboard. So it's a series that demands as close to perfection that I think you can find within sailing.
Well, the kit for us, I mean, it needs to be perfect for us. It's like every other part of the boat. So whether it's the sails or the rig or the crew, it needs to be the best and needs to be better than everybody else's. So to be comfortable, you know, and dry when we're in a place like Cascais when it's 25 knots, or cool and comfortable when we're in a place like Sardinia here where it's going to be very light wind and maybe 40 degrees. If
you're wearing kit that's not right, it actually takes away from the boat's performance because you overheat and sort of don't put the power through the handles, and the jibes aren't and drops aren't as good. So to kind of pull on the right kit at the beginning of the day is super important for us. So been out on the water today checking out the new Musto EVO range for next year, and we've had great kit this year, but again, it's just that step beyond. And the conditions that we're racing in now are so hot. So for me, for example, I spend a fair bit of time downstairs, and we had recorded temperatures of close to 50 degrees in Palma. So you have to have the right kit. And this new Musto kit is, again, a step beyond of what we got this year, and it's going to make a good difference moving into 2026.
As well as that, we tried out today the new Musto LPX inshore racing gear, and it was for someone like me, a trimmer, you know, my job's not as physical as someone like Freddie, so today I can have a light shell on and not overheat and not be a sweaty mess when I come in, and just be comfortable the whole way around the track. In terms of the Musto LPX, I mean, that exceeds what we need on board, and we go to companies like Musto to make sure that it is more than what we need, and that's what they delivered with that gear. You put it on, it's perfect, and we go racing. So that's what we need out there on the water.
Yeah, when I go training on land, be it on a bike or in the gym, I have very specific kind of premium brands that I like to train in, because I know I'm training hard, I know I'm training in the best kit that I've got. And I think this Musto EVO range is that. When I go sailing, I want to be in a Musto EVO top because it's the best sailing shirt that I've ever worn. You know, I'm a bit of a patriot, very proudly British, and whenever I think of Musto, I think of the Royal Warrant that they've got. I think that's very cool, so I'm very proud of that, the fact that Musto have that recognition. And then I also think of my youth squad days when I got my first ever Musto Snug youth squad jacket. So to have been on that little journey with Musto over 25 years is kind of what I'm about with them.
And for me, it's when I think of Musto, I think of the 1996 when I did my first Sydney Hobart, and the boat I was on, you got a set of Musto HPX offshore gear. And like, man, that stuff in 96, you'd arrived if you had a set of HPX. Yes. And it's still great to be working with Musto, and they're still producing the best offshore gear that there is.
I think I'm wearing my new favourite piece of kit. The shirts are unbelievable. Shirts. Like, we've been on a real journey with sailing shirts over the last decade, and this is by far and away the best sailing shirt I've ever worn. It is so lightweight, it's proper decent.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
For me, it's the new LPX trainers. I mean, my life as a pro yachtsman running around, I seem to just be chasing shoes my entire life. And those things tick all the boxes. They dry quickly, plenty of grip, plenty of support.